Okay, so we're going to talk about should again. So again, should means we think that something is a good idea. And when we say should, we think if you don't do that thing, we think it's the wrong decision. So here is a situation here. So this woman is very tired. Why is she tired? Because she doesn't get 8 hours of sleep a night. So we could say to her, you should get 8 hours of sleep every night, but you don't. So you're tired all of the time. This is the good idea. You don't listen to the good idea. You don't do the thing that is the correct thing to do. Here's the result. So you're tired all of the time. Now, when we use shouldn't, we know that means we think something is a bad idea. And if you do that bad idea, we think it is the wrong decision. So let's look at this situation here. Here's a father, he's talking to his son, and he's saying, son, you shouldn't watch TV 7 hours a day, but you do watch seven hours of TV a day, so you never get anything done. So here, this is a bad idea. Watching TV 7 hours a day, no good. But you do it anyway, and the result is you never get anything done. So now let's talk about discussing things that we think were a good idea in the past, but we didn't do it. When we talk about good ideas in the past and that we didn't do it, and we feel bad that we didn't do it, we use this should have with the V3, with the past participle. Now, when we use should have with the V3, past participle, what we're saying is we think something was the right thing to do in the past, but we didn't do it. Now, we didn't do it, and that was a mistake. We feel bad that we didn't do it. So let's look at an example. So here's an example. My mom lives alone and doesn't have many friends. I didn't call her. So the right thing to do was to call my mom. She doesn't have many friends, she lives alone, and, it would be good for me to call her, but I didn't call her. So the right thing to do was to call my mom. But I didn't call her last night, so that was the wrong thing to do. So again, the right thing to do was to call my mom, but I didn't call her, and that was the wrong thing to do. So to describe this situation, what we can do is use should have and the V3. So we could say, I should have called her. So that was the right thing to do, but I didn't do it. In this situation, we would say, I should have called her. When we say, I should have done something, we think it was the right thing to do, but we didn't do it. So the right thing to do, call my mom. However, the real thing I didn't call her. So I should have done the right thing. I should have called her, but I didn't do that. When we didn't do the right thing, we can say, I should have, blah, 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 I should have called her in this example. Now let's look at another example. So in this example, we're going to talk about using shouldn't have. we're going to talk about should have again. So here's another situation. I didn't put on my glasses before I left home this morning, and now I can't see things well. So what was the right thing to do? So the right thing to do would be to put on my glasses. I know I can't see if I don't wear my glasses, and that was the correct. But I didn't put on my glasses, so that was the wrong thing to do. So the right thing to do was to put on my glasses. However, I didn't put them on, and that was the wrong thing to do. So I want to do the right thing, but I failed. I did not do that. So to talk about this, we could say, I should have put on my glasses. So remember, should means it's a good idea. The right thing to do would be to put on my glasses. I didn't put them on. That was the wrong thing to do. So I look back at the past and I think to myself, putting on my glasses was correct. However, I did not do that. So we could say, I should have put on my glasses. Now, let's talk about using should not have. So when we use shouldn't have or should not have with the V3, with the past participle, what we mean is this. We think that something was the right thing to do in the past, but we didn't do that thing. We did not do the right thing. And we think to ourselves, oh man, that was a mistake. We feel bad that we did that thing. So let's look at another example. So another example would be, I drank too much coffee this evening, and now I can't sleep. So he's thinking to himself, I need to sleep, but I drank way too much coffee. And he thinks to himself, the right thing to do would be don't drink a lot of coffee in the evening. So if you want to sleep, this is the right thing to do. If you drink a lot of coffee, you won't be able to sleep. But in reality, I drank a lot of coffee, and that was the wrong thing to do. My goal is to sleep at night, and unfortunately, I drank too much coffee. That was the wrong thing to do. So when we look back on the past, when we look at something that we did but we should not have done, we say this. We say, I shouldn't have drunk so much coffee. Again, the right thing to do, don't drink a lot of coffee. But I drank a lot of coffee. I shouldn't have drunk so much coffee. That was the wrong thing to do. Here's another example. Okay, so I drove 90 miles an hour on I-5 and I got a ticket. So that is a decision that I made, and there was a consequence for it. I did this and I got a ticket, so that's something I feel bad about. So let's talk about what this means. So I know this is the right thing to do. Don't drive so fast. That's correct. But I drove really fast, and that was the wrong thing to do. The right thing to do, don't drive so fast. The wrong thing to do is this. I did drive really fast. I didn't do the right thing. So the way we can explain this would be, I shouldn't have driven so fast. So the good idea, don't drive so fast. I didn't listen to that. I did the wrong thing. I drove really fast. When I look back on the past and I think to myself, oh man, why did I do that? I would say I shouldn't have driven so fast. So here we're using the negative. That's the right thing to do. Hey man, don't drive fast. But I did drive fast. I did the wrong thing. So I shouldn't have driven so fast. So to summarize, when we say, I shouldn't have drunk so much coffee, I should have called my mom, when we use should have V3 or shouldn't have V3, what we're saying is maybe we knew what the right thing was, but we did not do that right thing. Shouldn't have would be, I knew the right thing was to not do this thing, but I did it, and that's too bad. I did the wrong thing, and so I shouldn't have done that idea. So should have and shouldn't have with past participle, we use that to talk about bad decisions in the past, something that we feel negatively about.